they don't like each other clearly, and Eddie's sticking the boot in, and Oscar sticks it back.
This is Jonathan Agger, fifth pro boxing fans, joined by Gareth A Davies. Gareth, I haven't seen you for a while. We haven't done an interview for a while. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you, Jonathan. Good to see you as always. Beautiful sunny day. Week before, or 8 days before Beterbiev against Bivol. The crown four, or the four crown, Ivy crown,
Crown, yeah, Ivy Crown. We'll go with that one.
Ivy crown, four crown. Obviously, as they're talking about it, four belts on the line. Big light heavyweight battle. Can't wait for it. Looking forward to going to Riyadh. Just waiting for the finer details before I pop myself on a flight and head over there. I think it's. Is this event 6 of the Riyadh season for? Come on, let's name them. Battle of the Baddest, which
Yep.
launched last year's Riyadh season, and this will launch this year's. So how brilliant the boxing's involved. Um, Ring
Joshua.
of Fire,
Sorry, Day of Reckoning. Yeah.
Day of Reckoning,
Yep.
Knockout Chaos,
Yep.
Ring of Fire.
hmm
Was it
Uh,
only four?
LA.
Was it,
Are we
I
talking
don't,
Saudi or
in
everything?
Saudi? It was four in
Oh
Saudi then.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And
Four in
then
Saudi feels like loads. Then
then
LA, then London,
5v5 as well.
and 5v5. So yeah, and 5v5. So that's five in Saudi.
Yeah.
Is that five? Yeah, five in Saudi. This is the sixth in Saudi. One in LA, one in Wembley. Been at them all. They've been magnificent.
What was your favorite one? Like as an overall experience.
Oh, it's got to be Fury Usyk. And I rewatched the fight the other day. It was brilliant. It was brilliant.
Mm.
And so there were a lot more travelling fans to that event. And there was a. Were you at that one or not?
Oh,
I think it was 23,000 people in there. It was an amazing atmosphere. It was a magnificent, fucking magnificent fight. There's your headline. Um, a brutal on fucking magnificent fight, Fury versus Usyk. No, it was. I think that's probably my favourite because it was such a big event. I've enjoyed all of them so much. I'm really
yeah.
looking forward to this one as well. Great undercard, incredible fight on the top of the card.
I mean, in terms of like a purist boxing fight, can you name a better one than this that we're getting next week?
Shaka Stevenson and Gervonta Davis. Noya Nui and Gervonta Davis, maybe at
Oh, like that one.
if Gervonta could make super feather,
Hmm.
or Shakur and Inui, um, at super feather, maybe if they could do that, if they could. Um, Jai Opetaia and Artur Beterbiev if he knocks Bivol out. Saul Canelo Alvarez and Beterbiev.
Wow.
Yeah, I know exactly. Fencing fights.
Real.
Um, Daniel Dubois and with purist fights, but Daniel Dubois and Martin Bakole,
Mm.
fucking smashing machines together. I mean, um, other purist fights. I'm thinking down the weight divisions.
I guess Boots
I'll
and
tell you what, Galal Yafai and Sonny Edwards is brilliant.
yeah.
I know it's WBC interim
Yeah.
flyweight. That is a brilliant fight. And very quickly, and I picked Gal off the top of my head to win that fight. And I've spoken to Sonny about it a couple of times now. I mean, I don't. He didn't say anything, but I don't think he was best pleased that I picked Galal. But I'd probably been a bit hasty that, and because I didn't know they'd sparred so many rounds.
Mm.
Um, that's a brammer. That is a brammer of a fight. That's a must be at, must watch.
Yeah, and you know Sonny's gonna hype it up.
Oh,
Gareth.
yeah, but and they've
Yeah.
sparred loads of rounds apparently. That's what I love about it.
Mm. Gareth, wanted to switch. Well, actually, let's stay on Beterbiev Bivol for a minute. Is this as 50-50 as it comes? Like no one quite knows how this one's going to play out. A lot of people think it will be Beterbiev's stoppage, but like I don't
Hmm.
think anyone can say with certainty how this fight's going to play out.
I think Beterbiev's gonna be outboxed or out slicked more than he's ever been. But I think Bivol's going to be hunted like he's never been. And the thing is about Beterbiev, you've got to look at his age as well, and the injuries he's carrying. 20-0 with 20 knockouts, and he's 38. I think you've got to look at those swarming punches he throws, 6, 7 punch combinations, rapier swords that he's throwing. And I think Bivol might have to get in a firefight with him at some point. He's going to have to do that. But then again, is he good enough that he can actually control Beterbiev with movement and jab, 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 1-2, jab, 1-2, jab? You know, he might be able to. We might look back on this fight and go, perhaps we should have seen that. And it might be Bivol keeping Beterbiev off brilliantly throughout the whole night and moving him and frustrating him and getting him on the inside and hitting him and moving. Or it might be Beterbiev swarming him and that Bivol cannot withstand the swarming attacks. But I'm the same. I mean, I've gone back and forth so many times on those different things I'm talking about there. And at the moment, probably dictated by some of the clips I've been watching, I'm going Beterbiev late stoppage.
Hmm. Yeah, it's going to be great. Gareth, switching up a bit. Did you watch Oscar De La Hoya's clapback Thursday last night?
I watch. I think I'm up to date with Instagram. Hang on. Oh, Eddie, failure, 14 fights in a row, and he showed them all or something, didn't he?
Yeah, he said 14 fights this year that Eddie's lost, but Billy Joe Saunders was, of course, 3 years ago. But yeah, what do you make of all this back and forth drama? Called him a
Oh, they don't like
liar and
each other
stuff.
clearly. They don't like each other clearly, and Eddie's sticking the boot in, and Oscar sticks it back. It's a great rivalry between them, and at some point, I'm sure, as part of Riyadh season and with the Saudi Arabians, there's going to be a moment where they're going to be working together. So we're going to get them on the same dais in the same room, and it's going to be great fun. It's going to be quite explosive because they're quite Oscar, which he should always remind us. He's the only guy in these leading promoters who was a great boxer, who was a former boxer, and who was absolutely brilliant at his craft. A multiple weight world champion, an Olympic gold medalist, all those things that he's got. Because people forget that when they laugh and giggle at his zaniness. I really like his zaniness. I think it's really entertaining. I think Oscar's a gift to us.
Mm. Switching up, I know you cover MMA. What did you make of this Crawford Conor McGregor thing?
I don't. Was that as an MMA match?
Two fight deal apparently they
No,
were.
I don't see it. And I think Crawford was wise. Say, are you kidding? I'm not getting in an MMA ring. He's too talented as a boxer. He doesn't need to. He's at the very pinnacle of his career right now, and Crawford's too good a boxer
Yeah.
for McGregor to go in with. Bit of fun. Came in, everyone looked at it, blew away, yeah, just a bit of fun, Jonathan. That's it.
Yeah. Nick Ball returning tomorrow night in Liverpool. What do you make of him and his journey?
Well, what I love about Nick Ball is that he always delivers the same thing, which is all action, marauding style. And he's fought a much taller guy before. Rios is a taller guy. And almost everyone's taller than 5'2" Ball in his featherweight division. I think we're going to get another fight similar to the Ray Vargas fight that I believe he won anyway out in Saudi. Couldn't see how he didn't get the decision that night. And I do think we're going to get a fight where he gets inside on a much taller guy who's a very experienced operator. But I think Nick Ball is in his purple patch. It's a homecoming fight. 9,000 people will be there for him. He's a terrific character. And he's the guy I'd like them to get Noya Nui over into the Riyadh season to fight, first of all, at featherweight, to bring Noya up to the featherweight division. I think Nick Ball against Noya Nui is a terrific fight. And forgive me for saying this, Nick. I still think Noya Nui wins it, but I think it'll be a fucking terrific contest.
Mm. Final one, Gareth. Obviously, we know the fallout from the Joshua fight. I think it's kind coming to an end after what
Isn't
two?
it amazing that we're talking about it 12
Yeah.
days later? It's always that way with Joshua because he's such a big figure in the sport.
Absolutely. And, you know, Cole Froch came out and said, look, I don't think he deserves the rematch. You've got guys like Parker and Zhang who are more deserving. And he also said that Joshua's punch resistance is gone. What do you think on those 2 points?
Well, I think he got caught early on. I've watched that right hand, which obviously Kieran Farrell was showing on his Instagram or Twitter. He practiced over and over again with Daniel. Um, and Joshua, beautiful timing with that punch, by the way. And I'm on record as saying I thought Joshua failed in his early lines in the opening act, in the opening scene of the opening act. I said fluffed his lines, but it's been taken out of context by a few people. You know, people know what you mean by fluffed your lines. It's an analogy for when you don't get your lines right in a play, when you've rehearsed the early parts of the play and you're getting into your rhythm. He got caught. Um, Punch resistance has gone. I don't know about that. I mean, I think Daniel Dubois punches really hard. He was caught flush early here, and he spent 9 minutes trying to recover and keep a foothold in the fight, which he did brilliantly to do. And then he threw his whole lot in. You know, he threw his whole lot in that first minute in the fifth round, and he got caught. In the meantime, he still did catch Daniel and cause some tremors. Because didn't you all rise up out of your seats in that moment in the fifth round, thinking, "Oh my God, he's going to turn this around. It's unbelievable," and he's going to be this concussed guy talking afterwards who's won the fight. Um, Look, Carl's a very harsh critic. He's very honest and open about things. I'm not going to disagree with some of the things he says, but um, I don't think. But my personal view is that Joshua should sit it out until Fury and Usyk have fought. That was my view, rather than take the immediate rematch against Daniel Dubois. It's not so much that he doesn't merit it. It's more that, but is it a wise move if he gets kind of maimed and mauled another time in a second fight with Daniel Dubois? Where does he go from there? I think there's a Dillian White fight, there's a Deontay Wilder fight, there's a Tyson Fury fight, there's a rematch with Daniel Dubois, and there's probably another fight with Alexander Usyk. If he has 5 fights like that, and maybe a Bakoli fight in Africa if he wants it. But we all said that Joshua was the favourite based on, we didn't all say, many of us said Joshua was the favourite based on his recent work. But everyone I know put the caveat in there, Jonathan, that if Dubois landed first and heavy, it could be him that won the bout. So it's documented. I wrote about it all week as well as broadcasting. And yeah, no, I think if he wants to do it, and they do a rematch, and the Saudi Arabians, that's what they want, and Eddie goes along with it, and Frank wants to do it, and Dubois wants to do it, and Joshua wants to do it. And remember, he's had immediate rematches with both Daniel Ruiz that was successful, and he was better the second time around against Usyk. So there's history of him doing it there. And who knows? On the optics, it looks like he's going to get beaten up again, but we could be very, very wrong.
Mm. What's your gut feeling, Gareth? I know George Warren said yesterday that he's going to speak with Turkey Al Sheikh next week. I know Dubois on holiday, obviously, but do you think the rematch happens?
My gut feeling is it won't.
Mm.
My gut feeling is that in the end, they'll say, look, let's just wait and see what happens with Fury and Usyk. And if Fury loses to Usyk the second time, but he could just as equally win, um, maybe we put Joshua in with Fury now. But if Fury wins, I think Fury and Usyk will probably have a trilogy. That's the sense that I'm getting from people. So, but my instinct is, I could be completely wrong on this, but my instinct is he won't end up immediately rematching Daniel Dubois. But if he does, it'll probably be in February, I imagine.
Mm. Well, Gareth, appreciate your time. Safe travels to Saudi
Thank
Arabia,
you.
and yeah, it should be another good week out in Saudi.
Yeah, it will be. It's always great to see you. Great questions. It's always nice to speak to you and see you around on the circuit. And as you kind of make me say this, be kind, everybody. There's a lot of shit flying around in boxing at the moment, so be kind.
Be kind indeed. Gareth, take it easy.
Cheers.